what's up guys, Unrested here with the questions you requested. This is JFAQ, Japan's frequently asked questions. Today I'm out in Utsubo Park in the Rose Garden. I hope you enjoy the sights and scenes that you see around here. Let's talk a little bit about summer in Japan as it's soon approaching. We're pretty much into the summer months now and it's gonna get real hot real soon. What kind of events go on in Japan during the summer that are fun to partake in? Well, quite a bit actually. First and probably most well known is Hanabi, which is pretty much translated into fire flower. Fire flower means fireworks. Big, beautiful, bursting fireworks up in the sky. The festivals that rotate around these are awesome, but they are very crowded. Probably one of the most crowded ones is the one out in Umeda that happens here probably around mid-July. It is so crowded. I want you to realize the level of crowding. We're talking you are shoulder to shoulder with fireworks going off in the sky. It's beautiful, but it's so crowded in the area that if you try to use your cell phone during that time, you just won't even get connection or anything whatsoever. The phone lines are tied up so much, literally like the network or however that broadcasting works across stations. I really don't understand. You can't even make a phone call. So if you want to meet your friends out there, a little bit of advice, call them ahead of time, plan ahead of time, make sure you make a meeting spot ahead of time so that when you do finally meet up with them, you don't need to call to find them. I've had similar times where many people have tried to come out and meet together, hang out together, and unfortunately some people weren't able to find us because they waited till the last second, tried to call, and were totally lost. Couldn't find us at all. I mean, we're talking literally hundreds of thousands of people out there. Umeda's a big place and there's a lot of room for fireworks. Lots of festivals going on, all different types of festivals rotating around all different types of things, mostly around Ibisu. If you don't know who Ibisu is, he is the patron saint of business, roughly translated. He pretty much is a good omen for all and any businesses that you may have started yourself. So if you've just started a school in Japan or you try to open a bar or a pizza shop, think about visiting a temple that honors Ibisu. Get some lucky charms. Literally, they are talismans or lucky charms that you can purchase at the temple. You can then add them to your little business, and that's supposed to be a little bit of good luck, help you out with your trades or whatever you take part in as far as your own personal business. A lot of other things going on. There is, of course, some light shows that go on with different parts of Japan. There's a place in Osaka-jo, which is Osaka Castle. I should just translate that right away. Osaka-jo Koen, the park, which is the park of Osaka-jo Castle. They have, how exactly do you say this? Project it onto the castle is a fitted version of the castle itself. And then what they do is they have this crazy projection show over the castle that changes its shape and everything. It crumbles, it falls apart, it catches on fire. The interesting thing is when you watch this projection show that goes over the castle, it shows the history of the castle, different things that happened to it, different sieges that happened to it, how it was burned down at one point, had to be rebuilt. Then there's of course beautiful different changes of time, nature, different seasons, ages, going through different eras of Japan, and this is all projected onto the castle. And then what they even do is go into like a cross section of the castle over top of the castle so that you can see inside of it and everything. And this is just the events that go on in Osaka. There's plenty of events all over. Of course, Tokyo's got their big events too, but again, remember crowding, okay? There's gonna be some super crowded parties you're gonna go to. Here, where I'm at right now, Utsubo Park, they have the Rose Garden show in which you can come out, partake in seeing beautiful blooming roses during this time of each and every color you could possibly imagine. And on top of that, there's usually the festival booths. Now, if you don't know a lot about these festival booths, they have a little bit of everything. There is, of course, a bunch of different foods. You've got sausages, you've got your okonomiyaki here in Osaka is very popular. Takoyaki here in Osaka, very popular. If you don't know what those two things are, okonomiyaki is pretty much the equivalent to like a cabbage and doughy pancake mixed together. I'm trying my best to translate this with mayonnaise, it's not really my particularly favorite thing, but there's takoyaki, and I do like those. And those are octopus balls, and it's not the actual balls of an octopus. I don't even know if an octopus has balls, but it's pretty much these cheesy doughy balls that have little bits of octopus inside. And even if you're not a big fan of octopus, which I'm usually not because it's a little too chewy for my texture taste, but these are usually pretty fresh. Here in Osaka, they pride themselves on how good their takoyaki is, so it's got to be pretty damn fresh. If you eat really fresh octopus, it is not chewy. It is wonderfully textured and is soft, very malleable, easily edible texture, which I thoroughly enjoy. I love it when it's in takoyaki here in Osaka. Moving on from there, there's little games and stuff that you can play to win tiny little prizes, pretty much like the kind of prizes you would have got at like Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese's, which I think is pretty much the same thing, are Fosbears, the little tiny plastic prizes. And it's games like little squirt gun games where you got to squirt down little targets and everything, make them move around. Throwing games where you usually get like a bunch of balls to throw and try and hit a target. There's old-time pachinko, which, if you don't know what pachinko is, it's a gambling game usually played with these tiny metal marbles that you shoot around. Well, the old version used to be laid down flat, and you can play them there at the festivals. Usually you pull the pin and it shoots them really far, and you got to try and land them in different holes to get prizes. Then there's also, if you love fish, there's winning goldfish. You get a little net that's pretty much made of paper. I think its consistency is paper, and you try to scoop up as many little fish as you can. Whichever you scoop up, you get to keep until your net finally breaks. Anyway, guys, that's just a taste of summer and things to come. I will, of course, be showing some of these events in my future videos. If you like what you saw here today, please remember this is JFAQ, Japan's frequently asked questions. Like, comment, and subscribe. Look for future events of videos taking place about all different types of summer things around Japan. I am Unrested with the questions you requested. Have a good one.